there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
If you need a little bit more time, man, just let me know. If you need a little bit more time, man, just let me know. Hey, there's no screen, big dog. I put it in the lobby because I didn't want you to get sanctioned, bro, but
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Slot man moves right. From the 45 on second down, Wilson. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Divine Diablo there to make the stop. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. A gain of 3, second down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
At the 8-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they try the right side here. They stop short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And that is incomplete. Was that the incorrect read or just more an error on the throw by the quarterback?
I lean more towards the latter because it seemed like he was open there. Just missed him on the throw.
And a tough one to miss because now you're dealing with a 4th down. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy. And then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
Here we go, set.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Down.
Throwing on first down is Lance. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. This defense for the Broncos, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Throwing now is Lance. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Now, the offense, they've really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker, partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. And the 49ers are out to the early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Lance. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now play fake. Lance. Rolling, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Now Wilson. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends of what we've seen so far.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They go play action now. Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll try again. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0.
Raiders, nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw, it's Lance. On the move to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there, holding the point of attack and not giving ground. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Throwing is Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Here's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. He's got it. Touchdown, Broncos. K.J. Hamler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are able to add on to their first half lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's the backup Mariota. Mariota had an 87-yard run as a rookie. This one a bit less, but it is a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Mariota. Short little throw to Ebron. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Mariota steps away to his left. He finds his target, Ebron. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 27 yards there, a first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Throwing, Mariota. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Marcus Mariota as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. And that's a critical touchdown. I don't want to be too hyperbolic or whatever, but they needed some points on the board before halftime.
They certainly did, and, you know, it's not going to erase everything that happened in the first half. Look, they got outplayed. There's no question about that. But now it gives them a chance to regroup, feel a little bit better about themselves. And how many games have we done where we've seen everything flip when another half begins? And by the way, did you say hyperbolic?
I did. Thank you. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
This will be caught. Judy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it, and he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. This is taken just shy of the 10 and taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, Mariota. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Mariota. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Bradley Chubb drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Let's take it at around the 40. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Wilson. Got a man. It's Judy complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And a throw right sideline is complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down. But they're set up well now. 1st and goal at the 1.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Williams is into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And Lance now to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now receiver in motion left. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Mariota to throw it. And that will be incomplete as well.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line.
At their own 44-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Wilson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 94 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Broncos 41, Raiders 7.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Mariota. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action now. Mariota looking deep for Adams. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Oh, nice move. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 115 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 2.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's a give up the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Hands it off out of the gun. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll send the slot in motion left. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Wilson wants to throw it. That's going to be caught. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 23 yards on the play.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Broncos, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.